Hello, everybody. I'm trying to figure out my screen stuff, but let me get back to comments here. There we go. Cleared it away. So, it's been a while. We have been disconnected on this space for a minute, and I'm here to fix that. We have had a very eventful, busy summer with a lot going on with family and just being completely overwhelmed with life, but it was interesting. It went really fast. Summer always seems to, this one particularly. And a lot of the things that we set out to do this summer got delayed by way too long. And most of those were DIYs, but a few things were like, for instance, we shall discuss this gazebo thing. Okay. This right here. So I ordered it. And within a very short amount of time of getting it, we finally decided to get it out, put it together. Husband starts building it. Doesn't do a parts check, but just starts building it. Gets it all the way built, about to put the top frame up, and discovers there's two parts missing. Both pieces missing were pieces missing that you need to put to build the rest of it. So there was no improvise. So I go on Amazon, start the return process or replace or whatever, and trying to get that figured out. Well, in the meantime, it tells on the box that you contact the company directly if you have any issues, blah, blah, blah. I still did the return thing through Amazon, but it never worked out because the company was responsible to send you a return label that was paid for if the product was damaged or missing parts. And, well, they never did that. And I had trouble getting a hold of people, and I kept leaving messages, and I was just getting so annoyed. And then we decided to put our old pop-up that we had last, if you guys remember last year, I had over here on the patio. And when we decided to do that, I'm not lying when I say the next day, I was sitting out here with my daughter, and up pulls a FedEx truck, and out comes a guy with the biggest box ever. And that, until that moment, I had no idea what they were going to do to situate this issue. And then I guess that's what they decided to do, was replace it. And they decided they didn't want to pay the postage, I guess, to send the other one back. So I ended up with two gazebos. The good news is this one, all the parts were there. So that's nice. So we got this kind of situated back in here because we have our rock garden right here, which is the one I just put in this summer. And then the one that was previously here already, which is back in here. And it is really overgrown. It has lots and lots of foliage and some hostas back in here. A lot going on. So we just kind of let it do what it wants to do. Yeah. So there's that. Now this one, I've let them come up a little bit, but I'm not going to let those get too crazy because they will completely overtake your rock area. But they're pretty for now. I think they look nice. So I'm going to leave them alone. I try to leave as much nature as I can around. So you'll notice, like, this is my sweet potato plant. I wanted to give it some sun. I'm going to set you guys down for just a second. Sorry about the grass. But I got to pick this thing up. No matter what you put on the grass, it just doesn't do anything good. Literally, somehow, every time we put anything down, even if it's for a couple hours, it just eats the grass away. I know that sounds weird, but it doesn't really eat it away, but it, deteriorates the grass quickly. We had 2 bags of dirt here that were going to be used right away and didn't get used, and then it rained, and so it killed that grass, and it's just starting to recover. So definitely, I just put that there. Yes, you can see it made an impression, but too long, anything there, I'm telling you, it's wild. Anyways, and so around the pool here, which I don't know what's going on with these lights, but we're going to fix them a little bit because things get shifted, especially with the storms that we've had, which the last one was very windy. So Just to show you what I'm working on here. Is the rocks around this. Okay? Because we've got to get them in the right position so that when they run around, they actually look decent. So I've got to try to pull these. I'm telling you, when it comes to trying to get these things hooked in, OMG. You know, like to extrapolate them into the along this pallet was not easy to do by any means of the word. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is wrap it around the rocks. We try to weave through best we can. I try to leave a lot of these rocks where they're at, and let the grass grow around them a little bit, but it gets a little too much sometimes. You know what I mean? We all have dealt with weeds, and I give them a little grace, and then I get mad and tell them they have to leave, vacate the premises, however you want to put it. All right, there we go. We got that fixed. I see they're kind of just sitting along in here, and we got a little bit of glue there to hold them in place. And yes, my pool is very dirty. This is from the storm. We have copper in there to help with the algae. The algae problem's gone, but what we didn't have was the luck of when it rained, I didn't get these pulled down. And this one is the only one that has, you know, like a drainage hole that's right over the pool. And so this is mostly from that washing through. It was an unfortunate thing, but I couldn't get back out here and get to it. And so, yeah. Hi, Just Becca. Love you. Yes. And welcome, Hanner 4715. Welcome to Wild Angels Bucket List Adventures. Today it's going to be the garden adventures, though. I'm trying to get completely organized here. I had things set up earlier, and then my dogs distracted me. I needed to cook them food real quick, so got them fed dinner. So this guy right here is one of my fountain features I did this year. I decided to go with. I found these cooler type things on Marketplace. There's two of them. I have one inside the gazebo, and you fill it full of ice, and you've got your beverage cooler, bottle opener, and then a place down there to put your extra sodas or whatever beer. We did use it, not this one, but the other one for that this summer a few times. This one I decided I wanted to turn into a water feature because it's just kind of perfect for that. The perfect size and flowers on the bottom, you know, the whole thing. Let me come around here where it's super, super bright. We got little kids next to us. This is my newest little bird bath. They've started designing them with a staked bottom, so you don't have, like this one here has a platform, and then you actually tack it down with these great big stakes. But I like this style better. I think I'm loving it. Right now I'm waiting for an Amazon order that has my bird bath that's going to be part of my water feature, and some LED underwater lights. But the lilies, of course, earlier in this, probably in some of my pictures and stuff online, these were bloomed at one point. I don't know if they might be coming for a second bloom. Can't tell. But they did about a month ago, I'd say. A little bit of white stuff here, if you see right here. This is some baking soda. It's an old trick to help kill grass and weeds. And I'm trying to get some of the weeds that impeded all of my mulch from last year. I never got more added in. Kind of everything took off, and I was just so busy. And so the one thing we didn't finish last year was a border around here. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be using the same brick that you've seen by the rock garden, bringing it around. And so last night I worked on this, and I got this beautiful harvest mulch. It's an orangish gold color, very pretty. I think it really pops. And then we've got our water feature, which is right here, that I'm going to be filling up. It'll be part of our DIY. I'm going to say that the cats probably got in here and drank some of it, because last night we filled that halfway full and carried it up here, so we'll just let that one go. And then these are our two pots that we still need to plant in. But what I'm going to be doing with these, so that I don't have to use a ton of dirt, is I'm going to be putting some rock and hay and some other filler in there, so that I don't have to use as much dirt. It's a very nice trick. This is my fountain kit that we're going to rig up hopefully here in a little bit. I'm hoping the Amazon order comes. So I kind of got in here and got all the weeds out. I had baking soda this area too, and then mulched it in. What we're going to be doing is the lights are kind of outlining where the border will be, but yeah, we've got a lot of grass that still came in, so there might be some. Once I get the border trim around, I might be able to. I might be adding some more mulch in to kill the rest of the grass out, or we'll just keep trying to get rid of it the old-fashioned way. So, but that's what happened this year. It all impeded into my mulched area. So, but I spent a lot of time and a backache trying to get it all out. And there's just so many random like weeds and plants that grow into everything. It's very annoying. Um, I spend a lot of time picking things out of my landscaped area. It's not a lot of fun, but it is what it is. It's part of the whole gardening experience, I guess, right? Probably my least favorite part is having to pull things out of the ground that clearly want to be there. But sometimes they just don't make things look that great. So we just kind of got to tell them, well, it's time to evacuate. You got to go. So I will be bringing that mulch color. I got to the corner the rest of the way around and then adding some more there. But they had a really good deal on it too. Not that mulch is ever very expensive, but I don't know what's going on with this bird bath. I need to change the water. Clearly, the birds have completely cleaned themselves in there. So we got a drinking and then a bathing one. This one here it's last year. I've noticed these get really in bad shape down here around where they're welded, and it's really rocky. So this guy here is going to take its place. But so this will be the last year for that bird bath. That's the fun thing about it. It's kind of every year you can kind of change up, like what you put, where you put stuff, where you place it, what flowers you get. It's a little different every year. So even though you have kind of the same concept, you get to kind of experiment with the rest of it, right? Oh my goodness. It isn't really super warm out. It's compared to last weekend. I don't know how many of you guys were part of the heat wave, but it was atrocious. It was so bad. Super warm, 90 to 100 degrees here in the Midwest. And we also had, at the same time, we had humidity that was almost as equal to the temperature. So it was just miserable. And go figure, that was the last weekend, the kids' summer break, and they had to go back home. And oh my goodness, yeah, it was the worst weekend ever to go to an amusement park. I cannot even tell you. Everybody was miserable. I remember me and a couple of the girls found this arcade that had the bathroom inside, and it was the only place in that whole place that had nice air conditioning. Nice, cool. It was so nice. But yeah, but we made it through. I mean, it was awful. We made it though. That's the important thing. Here in a minute, we'll go back, and I will show you the garden area. And then, like I said, what I'm doing up front is, we got a whole bunch of them over here, but I had my husband go grab a bunch of landscape rock right there. Okay. Those and those. And between those, I'm hoping to have enough to do the rock feature. Because what I'm going to try to do is like put some of them around the wash bucket, but then also like some will be inside of it as well. And then I'm getting this like really cool oval bird bath, and I'm going to try to rig it up to where this literally goes more like, instead of a fountain like these other ones, it'll be more like a waterfall, like a feature, which is neither here nor there, but a little bit more interesting, more of a front display for the front of the house, using rocks to have the water like trickle down on. So I've got all, like, pretty much everything I need. I just need my order to come. And if for any reason it doesn't show up today, then I'm going live tomorrow to finish the DIY. But I just wanted to update you guys. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do it together. Sometimes it can be hard to do DIYs, unless you have a camera person, I always say. But my husband is here, and he can do that. Or I have a friend that can pop down here if I need her to hold the camera or whatever. So there's that. And so, yeah, at night, when the mosquitoes are the worst or during the day when it's super hot, the gazebo is very nice. I have the blackout waterproof curtains that are for gazebos hanging up in there. And the only thing that we have left to do that I wanted to do before we put it in place was part of the reason why I built the rock garden over there is because we had a really low lying space where water collected a lot when it rained, right? There was nothing to absorb it because there wasn't much grass there. It was pretty dead. So what we're going to be doing is going to be fun to do it while it's in place. But what we're going to do is we're going to move the furniture out the backside of the gazebo, roll the rug back. I've got 4 bags of topsoil filler. We're going to fill that space in, level that ground completely out, right? And then we will not have the issue with that because then we can make it a little more level in there. And then to make this more sturdy, we're going to get 4 pavers, put them down, and bolt the bottom legs of the gazebo into those because we don't actually have, like we have this patio, but we don't want that big gazebo here. It's way too big for the space. And then I would also have to this is kind of like our outdoor kitchen over there where the grill is, our little outdoor area right here. And then this is our eating area when we all eat together outside. The gazebo is our quiet Zen place where there's no bugs, no sun beating down on you. And I'm slowly putting little neat things inside there too. So little by little, it'll get better and better in there. But I just kind of got things kind of somewhat positioned in there the way I want them, and then we'll work on it as we go, which is the story, right? That's what you got to do. So yeah. So anybody else out there, if you're a gardener, a DIY person, love to make amazing things in your yard, come on and share with me. Pop in and tell us something cool you've done DIY. Anything like that. Be amazing. I'm probably going to do like a live sometime where I do an open panel and see if I can get some other fellow gardeners and DIYers to come on and share some of the really cool stuff. Even though majority of us do share them on shorts and stuff, but sometimes it's just nice to just talk garden or landscaping, right? Or DIY. On one of my trips recently, I want to say it was last time I went on a cruise last October. I believe that one of the passengers that was on the plane, we ended up exchanging names and channels and subscribed to each other's channels because I was talking about gardening, and that's what her whole channel is about, gardening. And then I told her kind of like mine's a bucket list about my bucket lists and the adventures when I go on them, but it's also about garden adventures and life adventures and cooking and pets and whatever you want it to be whenever it needs to be what it is, right? So yeah, I think we're doing all right here. I'm hoping that my reception's okay. Becca, are you still there? Can you give me a thumbs up or anything to let me know? So I was kind of wanting to wait just a little bit longer, get a few more folks in here so we can go in the back and do the garden stuff. I think I'll have my husband bring out the tub. I've got a total of 3 different things. Well, I should say three cucumbers and 3 of the baby organic potatoes that I have pulled out recently. Hi, Mary Jane Doe. And so I was going to show the cucumbers. Now, I let these 3 cucumbers, when I show them to you guys, go for so long that they got way too big, and they were basically the plants weren't making any other cucumbers yet. Now, they've been cut off for, I think I've had them off, I'm letting them cure for a minute, probably about 4 or 5 days, about 5 days. And so now the other cucumbers are starting to pop up on the plants back there. But I'm going to, yeah, I'll take you guys in and show you. The dogs will let me in without yelling at me, right? But there's my fern. I don't know if you've ever heard of an asparagus fern, but they're kind of a nice plant. They're a nice filler. This one I had in a spot where it wasn't doing good. It needed a deeper. Yeah, they're already barking. It needed deeper soil. Um, but yeah. Hold on. Hey, can you bring that bucket out with the cucumbers and the potatoes in it? Hello? Okay. Hi, buddy. Yeah, if I walk, they get mad. It's a lot quieter out here, y'all. I'm telling you. It's quiet. You know, the craziest things about hostas is how long their blooms are. They're just crazy long. And then the thing is, they're pretty, but they fall off so fast. And then they're just all over the place. And it's a constant cleanup. I think I'm going to design it some sort of a garden tool that you can go around and just suction up all the, the leaves and blooms and everything that gets blown away in the weather that we have. The ducks are slowly moving in the pond. So the solar fountains work where they run during the day with the sun out, and then they go off for about 4 to 5 hours in the late afternoon to early evening, and then they come on when it gets dark, do a light show. The one in the pool does. This one lights up. The one in the front, since I'm doing a pump fountain combo, which means you can run it as a waterfall or a pump. That one, I'm going to add special underwater lights to that one. And then my other one right here is what we call the 3-tier, which is one of my favorite fountains. The birds love this with the fish top. This is very relaxing to listen to, and I've got it really close to the gazebo so you can still hear it, but out here where it can be seen. The birds love this. They'll land like on the middle, get a shower, go down, take a drink, and leave. All right, here we go. Let's go look at our cucumbers. So this is what I've picked so far. So we have 3 massive cucumbers, guys. All 3 of these came one off of each plant. I've got 3 cucumber plants planted. These are huge. Now, this was my first test on my baby organic potatoes that I have a ton of them planted to see if they're ready. And I would say that it is, because this is the size they're supposed to be. These ones were a rarity. What happened with these is I had a couple pots, right, that I did not plant any potato plants in. They're all in totes and big baskets, right? And the birds must have somehow pollinated the potato plants. We thought we had strawberry plants growing because that's what was planted in there. Never seen a strawberry one. But I pulled one of them one day because I was trying to get it out of there. I don't want them growing in there. And you know what I got? A little itty bitty pot, and it had 3 baby of the purple organic potatoes that had grown under there. I was just shocked. So I've got those 3. So this is what I've messed with so far. Now, the baby organic potatoes are 7 to 10 weeks. They're about ready to be picked. I've already done some checking where you go down and kind of dig in the dirt and pull it back. And you can tell because the plants on top, they die off. Okay, so they're completely different than like all your other plants. You want them to always look good and green and healthy. Where a potato plant, once it's getting close to being done harvesting, the top dies off and all of the energy to the plant goes down underground to finish the potatoes off. I didn't know that. I learned a lot more about potatoes over the season. Hey, can you grab my gray shoes before I go in the backyard? Because then I'll be sliding out of these shoes. They're on the rack. There's my red topsoil right there. Sell it at Walmart. It's like not even $2 a bag. And I'm telling you, I've used it in multiple places around the house, and it really helps. I think I did 2 or 3 bags on the ground to level it, and then I put the rock garden in, and then I put the brick border around it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to change shoes, guys. I've got my I tried to get me some garden shoes, like garden boots. Oh my gosh, no, that is something you do not want to buy online, because whatever I picked, they're real awkward and hard to put on. I need something I can just throw on my foot, but that when I'm out in the dewy grass or watering stuff, I'm not getting my feet soaked, because I do it all the time. I always end up wearing my open shoes and then come out here and try to do things like that. I don't know why. ADHD kicks in and it's like, oh, I got to do this while I'm out here, and then boom, wrong shoes on. All right, we're going to go on a little adventure around to the back here. Here we go. Now, the craziest thing I was going to tell you guys about is like during the day, this is my newest solar fountain. During the day when the sun's hitting this directly, I have to put something like on part of the panel. This thing shoots up like 2 feet in the air. I came out here the other day and it was just a little windy and this whole ground was wet. I was like, oh my gosh. Somehow I'm going to incorporate this old antique bucket with holes in it into my water feature somehow. I just haven't figured it out yet. It's on the horizon, the possibility. Oh, the cats must have drank the water we put in that fucking bucket up there last night because it's gone. There's just a dribble. I was like, wow. Okay, so these are really pretty. These are some different ones that we did this year, which are the two-tone. Of course, you have to constantly pick these because they have a lot of what do you call it? Dead pieces that you constantly have to pull off. So you just pull the little flower pieces off, and then you just wait for them to grow back because they just constantly regrow. And of course, I'm going to pull off like 3 or 4 of these real quick. Believe it or not, I did it the other day, but it's like a daily event. I hate to do it too, but it's crazy how fast they just regenerate. Just make new ones. That's what they do. I've been trying to support them with rocks because they're kind of a heavy plant, and I'm trying to get them to kind of lay on this right here, but they don't want to do it. You know what I mean? I've been trying and trying. Might have to tie it up somehow. So I'm trying to use these rocks in here to support the plant a little bit better. Yeah. It's about as good as I'm going to get it. But what I tried to do was do like 2-tone buckets and get the colors to go like that. The purple one, boy, that looks really rough too. And then this one was very pretty. The blooms look like this, the pink and white, and they're really nice. But yeah, these are a lot of dead blooms too. Yeah, we had like a really bad storm. Like I want to say a storm for like 24 hours straight. It just rained and rained and rained and rained and wind. And these flowers were completely gorgeous and bloomed out. And then they went through that storm. And normally I try to be a good person and take them down and put them off to the side and get them out of, obviously the direct smack of everything. But this time I did not make it, obviously, as you can see, because these have suffered badly. Yeah, so there's that. All right. Now, another new thing that we added outdoors this year is one of these little bad boys. What this is we've got our fountain. Well, the solar fountain's not on there, but the fountain here, the bird fountain, and the lights are on this. They're set on this. This is and this is plugged into an extension cord that comes over here. This is the rock garden. I could have made a koi pond here, you guys. There was like 3 foot of rain in here at one point. I fixed all this, leveled it, we wrapped it with these bricks, but we have one over here too. And if you don't have these outside, I highly recommend them because they keep all your outlets and everything protected, waterproof. And so we have all that coming through here. This is another new flower, and I can't remember them, but there's something candy, like little candies on there. This is a new one for me that I got this year. Got another one here, hoping it'll bloom out because it was in a small pot for a while. But yeah, so there's that. And the whole idea too was that when it rains and the rain runs down off the gazebo roof, it's going into the rocks on both sides. And it really helps absorb into the ground and make, the ground not get all saturated. So there's that. All right, here we go, guys. To the backyard. To my other space. These we're not completely done with yet. If you've seen them before, I had put them over by the pool. They have candles that sit in them. I'm still trying to figure out. I think we're going to finish painting them that color and then go with that and figure out where we're going to put those. But here we go. Our newest addition is our new rain barrel. Just got this yesterday. Got it sitting on pavers. We're going to run a downspout down the house and over into this and start collecting rainwater. So that's my new idea. And here's my barrel. I've got some photos of this. I'm going to put them on the channel. It will blow your mind because when we first planted the stuff in here, I had one little marigold over here, one over here, 3 of these other plants up here, and the fern. Now I did put some bone meal and the soil and mixed it in and fed it. Fed all these when I rerooted it because I was transplanting everything from something else. This marigold, y'all, I have never seen one get this big. So obviously that stuff, it really liked him. Really, really liked it. And so these flowers right here, these peonies, they like I said, the other ones, they break off all the time and die, and then you put a new one on there. But I'm trying to I brought these up just recently, put them in the front of this to kind of, because they're a good filler plant. I just can't get this marigold off of it. Like, I'm trying to get the marigold and it's separated. Oh, MG, guys. I need them to grow in their own spaces, but this one's trying to go underneath and I'm trying to get it out the front. You know what I mean? Like, have it grow out to the front of this and out this way, right? Giving it its own space. The fern is really taking off, but it's all intertwined with this marigold here, which is just a wild thing. Holy smacks. And then this one here ain't doing as good. This marigold here. But we're trying. I'm hoping it's going to catch up with this other one. Maybe not quite as crazy as that one, but you know, I'll get there. And then this is another one I just added the other day because, as you can see, it really wasn't doing much. It was in one of those buckets. And I don't think that they do good in those at all. So this is my barrel of odds and ends plants and flowers that I've moved from other places into one. And then we've got one of my bird baths from last year that the bottom of it broke. And I didn't want to get rid of it because I'm like, well, hell, the bowl's still good. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put my little fountain back here. And yeah. And so then it runs water and stuff. And if I put the fountain top on this sucker, I don't know what it is about these things, but these things are really, this is the smallest one, but if you put like a fountain top on them, they will, I came back here the other day and this thing was going 2 feet in the air. I was like, holy shit. So, obviously the flowers like him, right? Okay, let me throw this handful of stuff that I just picked away, which I have this big barrel of stuff that I've been cleaning up all weekend. This is a little leftover hay and dirt from when I was doing the potato tower that never really turned out. And this is what's left of a lettuce that got left too long and turned into Jack and the Beanstalk. And of course I cut it in it was like 3 foot or more tall in my garden. Look at the root system on that. It was insane. I was like, yeah, that can't happen again. Okay, so here we go. Greenhouse. Got all my stuff stored in there. It's a nice one. You can go inside, outside. Works good to start things early. Okay, so here we go. Here's the potato palette. We've got potatoes, baby organics in both these. In this one. This is one of the hanging plants that there's 3 potatoes, believe it or not, growing in the bottom of that. I have another one over there hanging up that the same thing happened to. This is sweet potato. I have 2 more slips that I'm going to be putting in here, but I'm getting kind of a late start on them. But I'm trying this new hamper option because it evidently does a really good job at growing lots of potatoes in there. So on another live, we'll come in, we'll harvest all these together, and we'll do these. These ones I just planted. This is another thing I'm trying to do. It's the soil hay layer, where you do like a couple layers, and then you plant a couple potatoes with horns, whatever, in there, or you can cut the pieces off. And then you put your, and then I stuck one on top, on the top here, on the top layer. And as you can see, it's already it was already taken off. Those potatoes had horns for a minute, y'all. Okay, moving on. Here we have our beautiful watermelon. I'm doing vertical growing, and then I'm going to allow a few of them to grow out this way so I can see which way works best. But so far, so good. I've got a 1010 fertilizer I'm using right now. Now that's getting kind of heavy, so I think we're going to end up having to go with the hammocks, where you wrap the watermelon and the hammock holds it. I think we're going to get some of those. I just was looking at them, and I think from the looks of the weight of this, we've got one there. We got one guy right here. That one, and then lots of little tiny ones. They look really itty bitty when they're, see, teeny weenies, itty bitty ones. Got another one over there. So, I just recently hayed all this into, which keeps your moisture in. Um, these are the bottle tops to my Ola pots. They're Ola spikes. They're clay, and it's an old remedy or old gardener secret. But what you do is you put water in those, right? And it'll water a couple inches from your plant. Your roots will go towards that and pull the water from underneath what they need. So, you know what I mean? Your soil on top may not always be damp, but your roots are getting what they need. And so that was my added on thing for the summer for gardening. So I don't underwater, and if I'm gone or something happens and I don't get out here, they have water always. So I'll be filling that bottle up tonight. But when the bottle's empty, the very bottom pot's usually not, right? And so obviously this one's been pulling more. As you can see, it has the bigger melon on it. And then I started putting some crates out to start catching some of the vines. Okay. And over here, we have our tomato plants. So right here we have, this is Roma. And so far we've got one right there growing. One Roma tomato. It's still green. Takes a while for them to turn red. I did one plant in each side, but I really do now wish that I had done just one, because I think they do better, especially in this smaller container with one in each one. So I might have screwed up that, but I definitely didn't do as many as I did last year. It was way overpopulated. Here's my pear tomato plant. These are adorable, you guys. They're little bitty pear shapes, and those seem to be popping in pretty good. This down here is basil. It was something that said you could pair with your tomato plants, and then I have some basil growing down in here as well. Over here we have our usual marigolds that I always have on the ends. We got to set the phone down for 1 second. I'm gonna pop this one off because it's not in good shape. And I think that with these, same problem is having 3 of them planted, even with this having a lot of space. It's a pretty deep, flower box. I feel like it's probably too hard on them to get enough, nutrients for all of them. But we'll see. That's looking pretty decent. These ones are starting to come back. That one, I don't know. It's seen better days. I'm not sure what's happening with that. I might end up putting spikes on these. I'm not sure. I mean, I water every night, except for we had a lot of rain, so I really didn't go heavy last night watering. Okay, so this is the area where, if you look at my picture on my thumbnail, we had these massive, my lettuce, baby lettuces, which end up being different kinds of colors, were way, way, way overdone. I'd let them go too long. I had family here, had a lot of shit going on. Didn't get them cut. Kind of my fault. These romaines right here, these are at their limit, 5 to 6 inches on the leaves. These got to come out before they get to be too much. And then we've got other ones growing. See, and once I remove these, then these will still take off. And then we have our carrots here. I did plant these in a specific order, and there would have been some back here, but some of them take, some of them don't, right? All right, and then here we have my single cucumber plant that I have. Oh, wow. I think I'm about to have to put it up into here. Oh, we're starting to get a cucumber on this one. There we go. I'm going to have to pin this up, guys, so I'm going to go grab a pin up. But in the meantime, we will look at the others here. Here's the 3 cucumber plants that those 3 massive cucumbers came out of. All 3 of them. And as you can see, I recently mulched these in as well to keep these from getting too dry. And then they all have an Ola pot as well, right? There's a real nice one right there. It's doing pretty good. So, and I don't want to let them get too big. Now, when they start to curl, that's not necessarily a good thing. I'm trying really hard to. If you get some that don't look very good, you can chop them off. This right here looks to be doing pretty good. We've got several of them on one. It's a lot of tying things up and trying to get them to go up the vine, to go up and over. Now, like this one here, I'm not sure what's happening, but curling like that's kind of odd. That's something you probably don't want to be happening. I'm not sure why that one's doing that, but I'm still learning to figure it out and figure out why things do what they do. But yeah, I'm trying to feed them up so that they'll grow up over the arch. Basically, is where I'm working on here. Yeah, let me set my phone down 1 second so I can see if I can help this one plant. Um, because um, it's grouping pretty good. A lot of people that I think it just needs to be supported in a new spot. It does. So a lot of times I have to go in here and undo my high-ups as these plants grow really fast. If my husband was out here, he could be holding the phone while I'm doing this, but I'll just do it real quick and then show you guys what I'm doing. The best way to tie this up and not hurt the cucumbers. That's where you got careful with. That's a whole other trick. So, all right. So we're gonna get underneath. I'm gonna go underneath where it's really strong, where it's like the vine is a little bit stronger. Nowhere near, the actual fruit. Wrap it around twice. All right, there we go. I think that should do it. All right, now I just gotta try to. Okay, this one's going this way, so I guess I'm going to feed this one this direction. I don't know. It's hard to figure out which way to go with them because they're all kind of going different directions. Yeah, this one definitely needs to go up and over, but I don't think we're there yet. So I'm gonna tie it off right here for now. It's just a temporary because this thing's got like 3 different cucumbers growing on one string here. And that's a lot. Now I did just fertilize everything the other day with triple 10, which I used last year. But this year I found professional grade triple 10, you guys. And so, but yeah, as you can see, this one right here, what I was working on tying up, it has like 3 cucumbers growing on it right there in a small space. Now the one right down here, that doesn't look good. So what I'm going to do is go get my choppers and chop that off. Because anything that's dead or not doing well, you want to cut it and prune it. Because if you don't prune, which I learned last year, a lot of it'll take away your nutrients from the good stuff that's actually what you want. Hello? Yeah, I think Bigfoot's in the house. Anyway, okay, guys, coming over to get this little dark colored one. Now, this does have another pole where we can go up higher with it, but we were waiting for this stuff to grow and we needed a place for it to get up to because there was too much distance between like this bar and the next. But now that they're getting like this, I'll probably go ahead and add those back in. All right, so what we're looking for is this little guy right here. Sorry, little guy, but I gotta end your cucumber career here. I'm gonna put my phone. Yeah, right. I said I'm gonna put my phone, and then it falls as I'm trying to set it in that space. Okay, carefully cut this off. All right, there we go. All right, so that one's off. And yeah, I got quite a few of them are trying to get themselves over here and over there. Okay, this one has a lot growing on it, but it's also got a weak spot. Okay. Alrighty then. So I'm hoping that this year I'm doing much better with my cucumbers. Trying to learn different things, all that good stuff, y'all. But I definitely feel like this year, what's really helping me is these Olapots. Now I'm going to show you what they look like without them being, because obviously they're all in the ground. But I got one in each of those, one in this cucumber plant, one in each tomato, which I'm not sure if those are too much for these, so I'm not sure. But one in each area here, which They're completely dry. Okay, so we're going to fill all three of these are completely dry. So those need filled. And I don't know if we're ever going to get strawberries, y'all, but my last ditch effort with strawberries was, I think, this space right here. I had put some in here and nothing ever grew, and I don't know. I think that might be what some of these are finally growing, but I don't know. So I'll have to do it because see, the birds will pollinate stuff into stuff, and then you end up with all this random stuff. So we're not sure yet. So I've just been kind of leaving that go and waiting on it. And then this one over here is another one of those pollinated somehow. These were all supposed to be strawberries. Somehow potato plants ended up in this. And so I'm assuming there's potatoes under there just like the other ones I pulled. So trying to think of what else. Oh, and then last year we had wooden pallets here. This year we have these hard plastic. They won't rot as easy, but our wood ones stayed pretty good last year. The only thing with these is, it looks like this one's sinking down, but we need to put a little bit more stuff underneath on that corner, obviously, because it's starting to bow. But these have great drainage, you guys. Great drainage for everything to run right through. Of course, then you get this where everything's growing through the holes, which is whatever. I'll take these sticky ones and cut them off. Yeah, see, they're pokey ones. Pokey plants. So the only bad thing is my husband, knowing that he was switching to these pallets, did not think about the fact that we needed to put weed killer. Weed killer. Weed killer would have been good. You know what I mean? Yeah, matters. Weed killer would have been great for this project, because now we've got all these weeds growing through here, which, obviously at some point impedes what I'm doing here and having, to get rid of the weeds underneath something. Well, you got to do what I just crazily did and tried to cut them through the holes right now. Not going to be doing that very often. So that's something that we'll be getting some stuff where I'll be lifting it up and putting a bunch of baking soda in there to do, to get rid of them that way. But anyway, okay. So let's look at these Olapods, guys. I'll show you the one I haven't used yet. Okay, so what it looks like is this. It's a steak, basically, and it's clay. And what you do is you soak it for 30 minutes to an hour, right, in water before you use them. And then you drive it down near whatever plant, like say about an inch or two away from the plants to the roots, near the roots, right? And then, and so this filled up in your dirt will feed your plants for 1 to 2 days, okay? Now, if you're going to be gone for 4 days to 6 days, say, you're going to fill this all the way full, and then that will water your roots while you're gone. I know I heard Bigfoot over there. It's hiding so he doesn't have to be my cameraman. Whoop his butt. But so I keep all my supplies in basically in here, all the covers, all of the garden tools, seeds, all of the whole lot, Try to keep all of it in there. So the two things I'm going to be getting is watermelon hammocks for these hanging ones, and then maybe even the little stands that hold if we spread them out this way. When we get these potatoes cleared out, we'll be down to just 2 potato baskets, and these will all be picked. So I'm going to move all this down or move this over and have the watermelon go this way. And so that's the plan with that. Yeah. Hey, I have some pots back here that are empty. I told everybody you were hiding from me because I was looking for someone to hold the camera and I couldn't find you. You must have been inside. But yeah, you can definitely tell that I recently fed them because they're all doing really well. And I mean, they've just in a couple days, these have all grown really well. And it looks to me like pretty much now one of these, this one right here is not doing very good. And I'm not sure why. But here, honey, can you come here for a minute when you get a second? So I just try to feed them up the string, because their grabbers will grab. I'm not really sure what's going on here, or why some of the leaves are looking kind of weird to me. I'm hoping they're okay. Yeah, but it looks like this one is empty, just about. So I'll come out like at night. Usually my routine is every night I come out and water everything. Despite the fact that those are in there, I still like water on top. But really, those make a huge difference. They really do. I'm just hoping everything kind of comes back around. I've fed everything in the last couple days, probably about 3, 4 days ago, all the way. Of course, I didn't do these, but yeah, these are ready to go. They are dead, and then that will, open up a little bit more space for the new potatoes. We're gonna see how this whole growing in baskets and hampers works, because the people I've seen do them do really well. Um, these were my extra aromas, but there was a whole bunch of them in here. I think you go. Sorry, my daughter's trying to get a hold of me. Anyway, so these ones I was gonna like offer them up to someone else, because they're still savable if they get transplanted. They could be used still. And then I have, same with the pear tomatoes. I got a whole bunch of those over here that I had extra seeds I just tossed. They're not really doing anything though, obviously. So, but my thought process was I have extra if anybody wants to grow any. I'm hoping the Roma plant, wakes up and we get some more tomatoes going here, but I think they will. Um, I feel like they'll have plenty of dirt, but when you look at the size of those stalks, I'm like, holy crap, that's a fucking thick tomato stalk. You know, like, I mean, that's like tree branch. So they're healthy. And then I, recently put we add the tops on, but I think this next year, instead of going with these, and maybe I'll still use them and do just one in each, but I think I'm going to grow one out of these and then one and do two in the ground. Like dig me up some spots, and they don't really want us to do that, but whatever. It's going to happen. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure though. I'm hoping we're not getting any bug infestations, because, oh yeah, there's bugs crawling all over my. And I've sprayed them with the baking soda and water stuff, but that doesn't necessarily keep the bugs off. You know what I mean? They like this stuff. They love the veggies, I guess. That's what you can say. Um, but yeah, so I'm a little concerned with that, but I've been trying to do what I can to make sure I'm treating for that. I do have this. Actually, I should get it tonight and use it. It's bug brew. It's an organic bug, spray to spray on your leaves and stuff, so that the bugs don't invade them and kill them. Um, so yeah, so that's basically what I got going on out here for gardening right now. We were gonna do a couple, like I said, we were gonna do strawberries. That I need to do more research on those. We're gonna go ahead and pull those romaine lettuce heads here shortly. Um, and we still need to get this painted, this raised bed. We always say we're going to do it. We never get it done, but it will get done, because it'll look a lot better. And then we're going to paint the shed until we build a new one, because I can't stand looking at it anymore. Get it the color of the house, at least. As you can see, we still have a lot of house stuff to do. We ordered more siding, so to finish this, come up through here, rip all this metal off, do the process, rip this window out, replace the window. We have a long ways to go, but we're getting one moment at a time. I just ran out of smokes, so I should probably quit, right? They always say at some point you just say, I'm done. Did you get a hold of her? All right, anyways. So back to the patio again. It is. Even at night when the sun's down, it's still really warm back there, y'all. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do a garden live in the middle of the day when it's too bright out because then you can't see nothing. Have trouble with my phone driving home listening. Cool. Oh, my goodness, you guys, I'm so warm. I need to get myself a nice cold glass of water. Usually we have water. Do we have a water jug out here, honey? Hey. No, he's not going to answer me. Look myself. Excuse me. What's that stuff? Anything to drink?
That's what's the drink.
Well, what is it? That's what I was asking. So yeah, so I'll have to go put these bad boys in the house. I cleaned them really good with water and baking soda. And then, but look at how big they got. It's just crazy. That's why now all of a sudden, now that I got these cut off, now the little baby ones are going. Oh no, this one started to turn kind of a lighter color. I don't know. Interesting. So, yeah. So there's that deal. And then we have to take these boots back. What do you got going on over there? Are you just holding the grill? You're just standing there? Okay. I wasn't sure. You were all poised like you were. Oh, well, yeah. I was just saying how we were going to put pavers underneath the legs of that. But we're going to have to get that done because supposedly Wednesday's when it's supposed to storm here again. And last time, look, these rope things that are holding this down are just basically holding the top down. But this thing had shifted all over the place. It was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, I was in the kitchen. I'm looking out the window and suddenly I can see the gazebo more than I shouldn't have been able to. So let's go in here and check this out, guys. All right. Everywhere I go, I have to set my phone down. Just to be able to use my hand. Okay. And so here we are inside of the gazebo. And as you can see, we have this really cool camping mat rug down. We have, it's dark blue with aqua, and the gazebo's dark blue with aqua curtains, and that's what we went with. Except for our accent spot, which is right there, which is, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. A little bit lighter of a curtain gives you more light in here when it's darker. The accent colors on each side of it, but the rest of it's all the aqua. And right now I have, as you can see, that's the same thing as that's outside, but I've got it upside down because I have my little palm tree lamp on there. I'm thinking I'm putting this table over there and setting the palm tree on that, but then it'll put it up over the sign. That's why I kind of was like, I don't know. We'll see. What I have in here for power is, we can see it up in here, right there. Okay. And so what it is an extension cord, and then it's got a little hook on it, and it hangs. And I've got 3 outlets, so I have power out here for charging phones, whatever we're gonna do. And then we've got our handy dandy light here, with the bug light if we need it. Although it's funny because we're in a bug free zone and we have a bug light in here, but it's usually out on the patio, as we've all seen before. But yeah, it's pretty cozy in here, you guys. I got the love seat, the 2 chairs, and then that chair. I plan on, in that space right there in that corner, I'm either going to put the blue chair over there and put the palm tree there, but I'm going to have a big tree in here, like a plant. It'll look really nice. And then that's probably when I'll move, because that lamp can be plugged in or it runs by battery. It's even an option. So I wouldn't have to have that near the plug-in if I didn't want to. But either way, this thing's pretty sturdy. Has a nice double roof. It's all vented up there. Has the rain holes so that excess water don't basically gather on it and it allows air to flow through so that it doesn't airlift when it's windy. Um, what I plan to do for up here is they make fans. Now, I wish that this just had a single J hook in the middle, but it doesn't. So it has two sides. So if you had a fan in here, it wouldn't necessarily sit even. And my husband's like, "Oh, you could put two of them." Yeah, but what's the point in that? No, I'd probably just put like something else on one side, something decorative or something different, like lighting wise, and then just do the ceiling fan here. But they make little tiny, like, I don't know, anywhere from like a 12 to a 20-inch fan for the gazebo, and they have lights on them and give you a nice bit of air in here. So, but this is nice in here, keeps everything. Believe it or not, when it rained and rained and rained, it literally got, well, what I want to say, it got wet. The only thing in here that was wet, believe it or not, was that chair in the cushion in the middle. And I think it's because the rain hole, one of these rain holes, it must have had a lot of water and it must have gotten on it. It dried in no time, but this thing kept the rain out pretty good. I was pleased. Now the ground, like I said, is uneven in here. It's very sloped down here, and then as you're walking, it kind of goes up. Okay, so what we're going to be doing with all that dirt and topsoil is peeling all this back out of our way. Believe it or not, I was the one who wanted to do this before we put all this in here. And we're going to peel all this back, and then I'm going to add all that dirt in to this big section right here and put this ground level again. So there's that. And for some reason, this back piece, as much as I love grass and stuff, it irritates me because there's so much grass and weeds that are trying to come up like through down here where this thing comes to, where the cover stops. And I try to pull it inward, it's like that stuff's on the outside, but it oftentimes doesn't matter. So yeah, so this is the gazebo. This is a 10 by 12 gazebo, and I really like it. I do. I think it's pretty cool. It's nice to have a bug-free zone to hang out with people, and chill. A little privacy too, and all the curtains move on the rails, so they can all be moved, and different entrances can be used. But this is my entrance right here. This is the way I go in and out of it. Keep the rest of it closed off. But yeah. And so basically, I'm thinking these are so hard to keep straight. I've been trying ever since I put these up to try to get these to interlock properly because the ground wants to shift. It's like, need a rock down there or something? Yeah, I do. I need a rock to keep this in its right spot. Of course, I'm trying to do that, and it ain't probably gonna work, but I was trying. I spent so much time pulling grass and weeds yesterday. I was so sick of looking at grass. I can't even tell you. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, sorry guys. So yeah, lots of rocks, but like I said, there was grass. Not a lot of grass, but some grass underneath this area before I did the rock garden, and so there's still some of it that hasn't gotten all the way dead, so to speak. It's still wanting to come out, and I really don't want it to. So I try to pick at it, but whatever. There's only so much you can do. I mean, this stuff all just wants to do what it wants to do. And I really wouldn't care if it didn't look awful every time you let it do that, right? But yeah, so the way these are interlocked, I'm thinking that this is probably what we're going to do for around the front, is do these. They're pretty decent ones, They're pretty easy to use. Yeah. And so we were thinking of doing something like that for the front. Just drape those around the front of the house and around the trim area, right? So, oh, Bigfoot's having brats. Imagine that. There's an interesting way of overlapping the curtains too, to get them to do right. That was the other trick. That was tricky. Is me having to try to figure out how I was going to do that. So, like taking, like one, whoa, wrong setting on the hose. Be careful. Always check your setting before you turn your hose on. What was that? So I figured out a way to layer them so that where the corners go around to the next side, so that basically when it's closed, it's completely closed in all the way around, right? Oh, I've got my screen all wet too. Everything just got a bath without wanting one. There we go. My mom can't even use her fan that's outside in her little outdoor thing because there's birds' nest on the fan. Oh no. I climbed up and stuck my hand up with my camera to record and saw eggs in there. Oh no. Twice this year. Oh no. Right? Well, seeing that's the thing is with the screened in, we can keep any birds or anything out of there or any wildlife or any stray cats. So that's the nice thing about it. I definitely wasn't buying one without some kind of protection but I didn't want to spend the money and get for 50 or 60 more to get the one that already had the privacy curtains like attached because I had plenty of those kind of curtains already that I gotten for that other thing last year, so it worked out really well. Okay. Goodness gracious. Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna have to go, I don't know, bucket it. Should I fill up that other one like that and use that to bucket water up to the front? I'm still waiting on my Amazon order to get here. I'm waiting on I think it's the bird bath and the pots and the sinkable LED lights. Oh goodness, hold on 1 second, guys. Anyway, so there we go. So we got hand me my water. This marigold is another one that's kind of wild. It's taken off and it's pretty thick. These things are crazy. It all depends on what kind of container you put them in. Because I had this in there with two other little plants on each side. They didn't do anything in there. Marigold took all the nutrients. So we gave up on that. Yeah. Got a couple decorative rocks in there. Whoops. What happened? There we go. Goodness gracious, you guys. This guy, he just fell right off. Oh, he just fell. He came the other day when it rained. I mean, he was perfectly healthy, but it rained so hard it made him go like kind of just fall down, and I felt so bad for him. I'm like, oh, poor flower. My band-aids keep coming off, and I see a flower here that needs snapped off. So I guess with marigolds, one of my really dearest friends gave me this heads up. You hold on to the tops of the marigold, right? Let them dry out. They have seeds in them, and you can save those, and you don't ever have to buy marigolds every year. You just plant them yourself and do your own. So I'm going to do that next year and try it and see if it works. Sure is. At night, it's so nice because of all the lights. Now, one thing we did have to upgrade recently, guys, we had to upgrade the track lights that go all the way around the house, all the way around here, because what happened was the solar panel quit charging. But here's our water feature, what we're going to work on. We're going to fill this bad boy up. Going to have big bird bath there. We'll put the motor in the bottom. Gonna put rocks up in there. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually higher than that side. So I'm gonna have to even that out because I'm just sitting here looking at it, and the mulch looks higher on that side than this side. Anyway, needless to say, I've got everything on pavers because I don't want it sinking. Because when things get wet, but I did put 2 huge bags of mulch up in here. And then, like I was telling everybody in the beginning, this is harvest mulch. It's kind of your orangish gold colors. Really like it. But what we're going to do is I have all the fountains everywhere, but with this, we're going to use an actual pump. And I have a little spitter end. I'll show you what that looks like down in here. Basically, got this nice little tube that runs down to the motor. And then this will be coming out of the top of the bird bath and spilling down into here where all the rocks will be. And then I'm going to put rocks all around this too. You know what I mean? So they'll be like kind of probably not like necessarily around these, but maybe like just around this itself, the water feature itself, and around this area. I don't know if we're going to have enough. I'm concerned that we won't. I'll show you what we got to work with here. We've got all of those right there, and then some in here. So I think we should be okay. And then here's some other pots that we did this summer. They're looking pretty shabby from, like I said, this weather. But these are so pretty, the two-tone colors. And then I had gotten some of these wild Cilius things that grow big and fluffy. They're really pretty, especially when you get the new growths down here. And then these ones, oh my God, this one just went mad. It's circled itself all the way around both sides of this. It's crazy. Like it's all the way around. It's like, holy shit. That's what you call, if you want a filler, these are the ones that do the filling, tell you. So they're called, these are the peonies, I believe, if I'm not saying it wrong. And they come in all different colors, shades, colors, you name it. But they bloom and die very fast. So if you get a rainstorm and it kicks their ass like this one did these, because let me tell you, this is not the first time I've picked these. I have been picking at these plants all weekend, trying to get these things to recover from the storms. And so, yeah, it's interesting because obviously it's not like a one and done. Oh my God, the flower's ruined, and you never see another flower again, like some of the plants these days. But these are nice because they have a nice turnover. They're constantly revamping themselves, so it's actually a quite interesting flower. This is the time of night, of course, around here where the skeeters start to come out and feel like that. I guess it's dinner time for them as well as us, so they just start eating us. And I am so fucking tired of these motherfuckers. They've literally gotten me so bad. I've got so many bug bites all over me. I feel like I thought I was gonna just run crazy last night, running in the house, running from being bit so bad. It's so bad. Anyway, so needless to say, I'm almost done picking, guys. But yeah, this is what you have to do. You could leave them on, but you're not going to get as many blooms. So the faster you pop off the dead ones, the faster you're going to get new ones. And so, but aren't they beautiful? They're just so pretty. I just love them. I didn't know they were going to overtake these, and so I don't know if these just aren't doing very good because of these. But I mean, there's a couple new blooms of these in there. They look like they're okay to me. I mean, they're sharing pretty good. They're in a big pot, though. I mean, I didn't stick them in, like a itty bitty thing and then say, here, share the space. That's a pretty big clay pot. Pretty good size. So there's those. Oh, wow. And another thing I've been battling, you guys, is mushrooms everywhere. Mushrooms, fungi, everywhere. Like, even the barrel back there, when I was replanting something in it yesterday, I had to go through and unmushroom it. There was little itty bitty, like a whole little tiny mushroom garden of its own growing. Had its whole own thing going on. Yeah, I think I'm going to remulch this too, guys. What do you guys think? Should I remulch this area too? Make it match the other? I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll remulch that and then finish up right up into this space too. So yeah, um, I just wish that once in a while, like wanted to go live not too long ago, and it was perfect outside. Um, all the flowers were bloomed, nothing, no storms had come, and then I had a bunch of shit going on, and had to do a bunch of family stuff, and we had to do a bunch of time changing and schedule stuff, and suddenly, the next thing I know, yep, we're not. We had a storm, and then all my flowers went. Here's another version of them, and these are the dark purple. So here's the dark purple version of them, of the same thing. So these look kind of rough too. They went through it too, but they just got pretty wet. I mean, I had them under here, even though that's not much protection. It gives it a little bit, you know what I mean? A little bit of protection anyway. And, but these are the same way, you know? They'll look terrible, 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 then all of a sudden they just pop right back up. So all the peonies are like that. They're a very good filler for pots, and they're really good. Like I guess if you have them down low on the ground cover plant. Gee, it's amazing how just a little bit of picking can make you so warm. Here, sit two guys in here with the cucumbers for 2 minutes and wash my hands. Right back. Look at this water. My God, this is the next one. Yeah. That Amazon stuff was supposed to come today. It was for my project, but I was thinking, y'all, is what we can do is I will do another live, and it'll probably be here tomorrow, and or it'll get here really late tonight when we won't be able to see to do it. Now, I give it a little bit more time, and if it came, I could come back on and we could do the DIY. Otherwise, I will make another live for it, and then we'll do it that way. Because I wanted everybody to kind of be part of it. Now, if anybody's got any suggestions or say, no, put that rock on that side and do it together. So, yeah. Just Becca, they're beautiful. Hi, Mary Jane. Well, and see, I gotta mess around with the time of day to do lives because, like, as far as being outside, it's easier to be outside later in the day when it's not so bright. You can still see everything, but it's not like blinding and you're not sweating all over. You know what I mean? Um, and at least for DIYs and stuff, I'm gonna be doing those later in the day. Afternoon and evening is when we do the most. All three of those water bottles on the raised bed where the lettuces are, they all need filled. All three. Yeah, because I just planted the lettuce, so I gotta make sure I keep that all nice and wet back there so that they'll harvest. Because now lettuce likes to be planted in the spring and in the fall. So like you kind of like I guess do a harvest in the spring, and then in the summertime they'll grow, but it's really hot and it's hard on them. And so when I hacked off all the stuff that was overgrown and put new seeds in, and we should be seeing something here soon. And then I'll make sure this time as they're growing, I'm cutting them out, because if you cut them out when they're ready, right at the soil line, that will regrow another lettuce. You'll get multiple harvests out of one seed. And that was my mistake, or I would have had lettuce all summer long with no problem. So I just had way too many things to do here. I'm not a lot of people here for a while. So yeah. And I couldn't even like have 5 minutes in the bathroom without something going on. So there was no way I was going to be able to go live and not be interrupted nonstop. So I decided just to what do you call it? Do that then and do this now. So now there's none of all the interruptions. And people, if you're live and they don't remember, they come up and they say random stuff, or you never know what people are going to say or do, right? And I'm not just talking about your own people, but around the neighborhood, like people driving by or some loud vehicle or some kids screaming, and you think it sounds like they're being kidnapped, but it's just them screaming because they're playing tag with their siblings in the yard, those kinds of things that freak you out. Okay, Bigfoot, it's time for a smoke break.
That's what it tastes like.
Delicious fireworks, red, white, blue. Oh my lord. Okay, so Bigfoot is literally drinking a bomb pop in a can. Y'all, for real. There it is. See? Yeah, can you imagine? Oh my goodness, what they don't come out with. They're trying to make everything taste like something it's not supposed to. I don't understand.
Mountain Dew donuts, I don't get that.
Yeah, no.
Good time.
I got a couple of seeds here, some stuff I want to plant, but I was doing some research on it, and I'm like, oh Lord, what did I get myself into here? These are rare purple creeping. These are creeping thyme seeds. They're dark purple, and it tells you what how to. I want to start sowing things into the ground instead of in pots, because I want to be able to get perennials that grow back every year and not have to keep doing like all the extra stuff. It's enough to just try to keep your garden planted and alive. God knows I got a crappy start this year because we went to Cancun like within 2 weeks after I started greenhousing and preparing things. Yeah. Here. I don't know if my lighter's out here. Oh, okay. Anyway, so that's what's been going on, and we, like I said, took the kiddos back last weekend. Got to see lots of family. A lot of family went with us. It was hot as hell. 99 degrees outside, 99% humidity. We were all dying. The van the air conditioning could not keep up with 6 bodies inside of it, and that humidity. We had to keep pulling over and pumping it with this the Freon pump thing, and no matter what we did, it was awful. It was just awful. And of course, I was sitting there thinking though to myself the whole time while everybody was complaining and griping. I was thinking, back in the day, they didn't even have freaking air conditioning, and people didn't die then. So like, what it could be worse. We could be walking in the desert somewhere with no water. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just kept thinking, okay, this sucks, but your younger teenagers and stuff, they ain't gonna get it. They're gonna be like, the hell's wrong with us? Everything. And honestly, even if we would have had the new rental van that we had prior to getting our van back, I don't even think a brand new vehicle could keep up with the kind of humidity. It would have been really hard for it to even do it, because we had you have the strain of the vehicle with all the weight, fully capacitated, and then the air conditioning units front and back running on full force. Yeah, it was rough. And then we'd stop and we'd pull over and let it cool down, and let that condensation, everything cool off, and start back on the road again. And well, that last stop, after we were down to just the 2 kids then, and they literally both decided to wear off some steam in the Walmart parking lot, and were pushing each other around in the carts. Now, normally, under normal circumstances, I would totally be against that. I wasn't really fond of the idea, but it was already happening by the time I got out of the car. So, I mean, and given one was an adult and one's a teenager, I mean, I figured as long as they're not doing anything dangerous, and they're not running out into the traffic, and they're not stealing the carts or doing anything like that. They're just moving each other around to get air. It was actually quite entertaining to watch them. So I got some really good photos with funny looks on their faces while they were each having a turn in the cart. The fact that my big daughter, who is very tall, almost 6 foot, got herself folded up into that cart, still to this day amazes me. Yeah. And they thought that they were getting me in there. I said, "Oh, the hell you are! I'll sit right here and take pictures all day long, but I ain't getting in that cart." I reckon a lot of people out there are just getting off of work or dinner time. Some people eat dinner really late. I know all summer ours was schedule was all over the place. So, um, I want to say it was a couple weeks ago. I ordered some stuff from Amazon, and it was something I was gonna do. I needed it like for something I was finishing, and literally it got here like at 10 o'clock at night. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm waiting till tomorrow to do that. Um, it'll be really nice though to be able to show you guys like when we're finished with siding the house, so it actually looks good, like with the rest of everything out here that looks decent now. We were gonna put a patio cover over. We're like, that way the grill's covered, the deck's covered, great stuff, right? And then we're like, yeah, no, we're gonna be waiting because as soon as we would put that up, siding the house, it'd have to be moved. It'd have to be detached. So we're like, okay, so let's just work it in somehow that when we get to the past the part of the house that we're gonna be siding, that the patio top would be in the way of, then we'll put it on. Right. Which I think is necessary because I mean they're not perfect, but they definitely keep the rain and snow off of that straight down area, off your deck, off your head when you're trying to look out the door, if you're trying to get groceries inside, if somebody puts a package on your deck, like all those things matter. So that's in the future. But right now it's getting the front finished and starting to rip the old metal off and start getting this house put back together. So we have that and the petrified tree over there. You just gotta love it. You have no idea how much I didn't want to put the gazebo there just because of the tree branches that are hanging off of it. But some of those are going to come down here real soon. Son's going to come over and they're each going to get I think between us, we have 3 total chainsaws, 2 handheld and then your gas, and the other 2 are battery powered. And so um, I'm going to be helping, like, basically we're going to be roping off pieces to pull them down to get them because you want to put them where you want to put them. Otherwise, it's timber, right? Um, the way that the tree's positioned and the way that everything's positioned in the yard and placed, it's literally going to be like some Houdini shit trying to miss everything. The only thing that could really handle the hit of any part of that tree would be the shed. The reason why I say that is because we have a metal roof and that's shingled. And our house has already been hit by the tree that was between our house and the neighbors when we had the ratio in 2020. And the tree, thank God it wasn't the whole tree, or would have gone all the way through our whole house. But it was like it split in half, and part of it came over and fell onto our house. Still put holes in our roof. It still did damage. That was the biggest disaster, I swear. Um, a lot of homes out here got beat up bad, beat up really bad by that storm. It could have been worse. I was amazed at how well the old jalopy held up, but it did. I call it our oversized RV. It's longer than a semi. And actually, technically, longer than most houses because most houses are square, like a double wide, like that. It's like, see how short that is? And then it's wider. Well, ours is skinnier and very long. So, yeah, there's that. Are you done driving yet, Becca? Are you back home yet? I probably should have done a vertical live, y'all, because I probably would have gotten a little bit luckier with the vertical live and been able to like probably got more because it does put out more what do you call it, notification than it does when you do like a StreamYard, which is weird because the StreamYard only goes to the people that you either send it to or the people that have your notifications on for your channel. But hey, it works. I need to change my StreamYard. Like I had it set for like when I was going to be doing tons of lives and lots of panels and then I just would always forget to go in and change it because it's cheaper to just go vertically live and then just do an occasional panel, and then you can do the free StreamYard. I think it's like 6 people, and I never have that many people that come on at once. But I was thinking about that, just taking that off and putting it back on the other because unless I'm going to start, you know, like having a lot of people come on a panel, you really don't need all that. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. But it's this time of night when it starts to get really quiet around here. The worst thing you hear probably out here in the like late at night is cats in the distance fighting over territory. Oh, honey, can you go get the little green bucket, put water in it? I gotta fill some stuff up. You might want to rinse it first, though. I'm not sure what's in it. Sometimes things fly into it. I have the other one that's like this one. And what we did last time is we filled it up, and it took 2 of those to fill the one big one up front. But yeah, one time I came up in the morning, came out, went around to check on my fountain, and the stray cats must have gotten in there and drank I don't know how they did it, all of the water, because that thing was almost 3/4 the way full with a fountain floating in it. And when I came back the next day, it was almost all the way empty, and the fountain was just sitting at the bottom. I don't even know how physically they could have done that because I had just been out the night before and there was plenty of water in that. It was the strangest thing ever. I mean, they must have just sat there all night long and drank and drank and drank. It's just like, how is that even possible? You got to add some water to the fountain. So like once the sun's down, then it'll go about mediocre like that. But like I said, when the sun's out, that's when the fountains go the highest. And I mean, these little ones, I'm thinking, they might go up 12 inches or something. No, I saw this one and the other one go like at least 2 feet. I was like, oh, FG, like what? It just happened. I think I need to put my cushiony chair cover back over here because I have just this, whatever this material that the chairs are made out of. And I think that's why I was getting mosquito bit last night because they were like biting me through the chair. When I have my cushion in, they don't do that. Let me grab my cushion out of this chair. This chair. It's more comfortable. Now, out of the chairs from last year, the old white ones with the cushions in them, they did not. 2 of them broke over between last year and this year. And so I bought a set of 4 of these blue ones that I'm trying to get our coordinating colors going on here with everything. These are old. This is an old set I got. I mean, I don't know, 2 summers ago, it was on Marketplace, garage sales online, and it was the umbrella, 4 chairs, the base, and an oval glass table. But that didn't do well. It only made it through a couple years, and then we end of last year I got this white one here. Somebody was selling. It was brand new in a box still, and the only thing that was wrong with it is that it had damage to one of the legs, or one of like the crossbars had like a little dent in it. Still a good table, right? So, but I think I'm gonna paint this bad boy because I hate white. I'm so tired of trying to wipe this thing off all the time. So we just kind of mixed the chairs in. I mean, like the cushion covers have like a dark blue, which matches that. I couldn't find chairs that had white. They were all the dark. Whatever, you know. I try to make it work, but I'm trying to get the gazebo matching, and then all of the blue should look good when the house is completed and is, you know, all blue sided. So, but yeah, just lots of projects to do, and my upcoming trips while we're on here, we'll talk about that real quick. Will be this one of them is a maybe. I'm not for sure yet. The one I know for sure for October 19th through the 26th, I will be on a cruise with my daughter and my older daughter, one of my older daughters. So my daughter Destiny went last year, and this is my daughter Victoria, and she was supposed to be the one that was going with me last year, but had different things that happened and some work related stuff, and just couldn't like get away. So we're trying to do a redo, and so we're gonna go. And she really wanted to go to Belize, and I did too. And the only cruise that they had with Belize as a stop was a similar cruise to two of the stops I went to last year. But I don't care because they were beautiful places. So I'm totally fine with going there again. So with a new one on added on. So this is the 7 day, and it'll be on the Dream, which is the first boat I was on. Because the first ship I ever went on, my first cruise was on the Carnival Dream, and then last year's was on the Carnival Jubilee. So this will be on the Carnival Dream, and but that's where we're at with that. So oh, you put in that bucket?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to have to. Hopefully, this will look better. I had to get it fast, though. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, what could have drank that? It was quite a bit of water. Shit. They've done it before, though. You guys, they've drank that. Like, they won't mess with it once it's all everything's in there and I have rocks in there and have it all decked out. But I'm really excited. I've got a lot of water features, but I've been wanting to do a waterfall, and I want it like the main, like special, unique one to be right there in the front of the house, like your front part of your yard where everybody, that's what you see first when you pull up, right? Or you pull up to your own house. um I like to see how things look when I'm pulling up, like how do I feel about it, like, oh, that's welcoming, or whatever you want to call it. Either way, um I'm trying to incorporate a lot of different things into the landscaping, like not just you know flowers and different things like that, and not like yard ornaments, but just basically like nature, like letting certain plants thrive and live next to my water features because they naturally grow there and they're good and they look nice. If everything's just completely perfectly trimmed all the time and there's no nature, looks like nothing natural to it, it's looks unnatural, if that makes sense. So I like to give nature as much grace as possible as I'm trying to, like, learn how to take care of the things that I'm trying to add to the yard. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. How many more bucks it will take to fill it up?
Probably.
We don't want to do too much though, because if we're going to place rocks and things,
That's the first time.
okay. Because if we're placing things in there, we don't want
And then it's coming up.
for now till I can get, yeah. So we can take some boulders over, figure out what we're doing. I think I need a brick, a couple blocks, maybe. We'll see, or a cinder block or something that I can stick between, so where the back of the tub is and where that the other thing will sit. I might need a couple of them back behind there to set rocks up, to build the rock up. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see. Yeah.
Bricks. So we can tap on them.
Oh, for that, yeah. And then a couple cinder blocks for that water feature. Yeah. 'Cause I feel like I might have to put them like on their sides, right behind, like in, behind the tub and between the other thing. So I have somewhere way to set things. I got to figure it out. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll figure it out. So we didn't get that this evening, but you guys, we got a lot of the other stuff done, and a lot of folks, I think, probably, like I said, unless they got my notifications on, which I haven't been on live for a long time, so probably a lot of people don't have them on. Probably don't know, and so I might then just go ahead this next time, and I'll probably do it tomorrow, and do a vertical live. I think the vertical lives when you and I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look again. But when you post them, you can post your title and everything, but it's like an instant live. So there's no like preparing. Like, so StreamYard will put it up ahead and say upcoming, whereas this is more direct. Oh my goodness, I'm so warm. It's weird because even inside there, the temperature's even cooler. Even when the sun's down out here, inside there, it's cooler. Just, I don't know. It's weird. It's like you got warm, cooler, coolest when you go in the house. There's three versions of temperatures around here. Yeah, so yeah, I think what I'll do, and I don't know, maybe I'll start going back and forth and doing like one vertical live a day where I'm just like do a quick live and then do other ones on StreamYard. So I'm still getting to use my what I paid for already with that. Um, and do a couple like little panels here and there and get a couple of you guys up there and talk to me and can chit chat and giggle and talk about whatever. That'd be fun. Um, sure beats being on here and this talking like many of us know. You're talking and they're like it's you talking to others, but the feedback isn't there because there's not somebody like on talking with you, and so it's an interesting dynamic. You get used to it. It's kind of like when you do a talk text, something like that, right? Kind of. Well, it's 8:30, so in about I don't know what 15 more minutes, all of the outside lights should be on, and that's when things really get interesting. I always say that because I'll be looking around, and all of the solar stuff will turn on one by one by itself. It's the only thing that's not on solar is the lights that are going around the water feature over there. That is the only thing that is plugged in. Had I known about the solar lights for like I would have gone that route instead. I really would have. But that's on a timer. And so, like, we're trying to figure out how to set it to where the lights in the fountain go off, like, after, like, say, midnight or 1 o'clock, right? But then come back on the next morning, like, so many hours later. So I just got to get the instructions out and read how to set it. But yeah, all the other ones come on by themselves. And the other thing I want to do in the back is get another set of these. I'll show them to you. So these LED lights right here, all of my pathway lights. Well, I want to get a bunch of these and put them around the back, um, around the garden area. I was going to do like a solar light, like a whole set of solar lights back there and just run them all around the garden area. I thought about it and then I'm like, yeah, you know, that'd be more of a pain for mowing. So if I get the stake lights, they pop in and out of the ground, easier to mow. And if you get enough of them in a small enough area and you do like a, pathway around, they really light up. They shoot out the light really far. And so I think we'll just get another set of those. They're still on sale on Amazon. And if there's anything that you guys see that I have out here that you're interested in or want, like a link to it, I can definitely show you, where I found it on Amazon and stuff like that. Yeah. I do share a lot of um, my DIY stuff and stuff with my friends, my close friends, like that I talk to on a daily basis. but I don't always think about the fact that, go ahead and offer to your subs and people on YouTube, hey, if you're looking for something, most of the stuff is pretty general. I do basically all my shopping on Marketplace and Amazon. Um, the baby pool, everybody knows you can get those anywhere, Walmart, Target, all of them, right? Um, but the fountains, the bird baths, the solar lighting, the flags, all of that kind of stuff, buckets, all of it, all Amazon, 100% Amazon. Um, these cooler bin things, storage things, these are Marketplace. Somebody had a set of them, and I seen one the next day that had wheels on it on one end, which I don't need ones with wheels for what I'm using mine for. And they wanted $60 for one, and I got these for $60 for two, $30 a piece, and they're really nice. These were brand new condition, and so like I really love it. I like to see how many different places I can put a fountain. Like how many different places can I stick a fountain and a water feature. It's soothing. Um, Water and light therapy, like watching pretty things and hear soothing sounds is relaxing to a person. And so I try to create these like little zen places so that when we're stressed out or one of us is overwhelmed or the dogs won't stop barking, we can just come out and hide out and just chill. But we can also separate from each other and come outside still, because one person can go in the gazebo and one person can sit in out here in this space, right? Um, the only thing that I was going to get recently to add to our outdoor stuff, and well, two things. I do have a hammock swing, but our tree is dead, has been for years, so we can't put any swings, hang anything on it anymore. It's not safe. I'm trying to get my husband to build a frame for a hammock swing to sit on. This really cool pallet DIY I found. But I've always wanted a double hammock with the frame, with the cushion top and the pillow, and they had a good deal on them in end of June for like 99. I was gonna get one, did get it. Then they went. Then I saw them again a couple weeks later, and I was gonna get them. Then I did order one, and then we decided we wanted to go and like take the kids and do something. So I was like, I'm just gonna cancel it, save the money, and wait, get it later. But now everybody's gone, and we don't have all the guests that we had and all our family here. So now it would just be for me and Bigfoot to use. But I really love them, and I want one. And I can literally I could put it inside the gazebo on one side if I wanted. I could put it right. My thought was to put it on the outside on the other side of it, because there's like some of the rug is like it's so wide that it goes all the way out. Here, I'll show you, and it goes all the way out. So I could theoretically. It's not much. There's a section right here where I could move some stuff around inside and then have the hammock like right here if I wanted to do that. Or I could extend something like over here if I wanted to, like to give it a shade. Otherwise, you just put it inside, and then when it's not, whatever outside, then you just pull it out if you want to lay outside and look at the stars. But no, there's plenty of room in here. I'm sure of it. Let's go back in here for a minute. I'm going to turn the light on. See, a little palm tree lamp. I really think that I should put that over here. Like put that on this table, but this table's higher. But maybe I could put this table over there in the corner, put the lamp over there, and put that chair right here instead. Yeah. And then I could stick that over there. I don't know. But yeah, here I'll be sitting here now thinking about this for hours on end, how I could do that different. Yeah, so like the curtains are, like I said, they're on a sliding thing here, so they slide. So you can pull them back and get air or do whatever you want to do. privacy, no privacy, whatever. Yeah, let me think about that now. How could I do that? Okay, so we're standing over here. This is coming into. We've got the love seat on this side. Here, let me open this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So we got the. Get this thing shut. I'm gonna have bugs in here. So we got the love seat here, and then the two chairs are sitting there with the table between them. And then I have this chair here. Now the reason why I have this here mostly is because it's got a space down there to charge things, and the cord's sitting down there. So I'm sitting here thinking about this. This water out here. So yeah, maybe I can do it because I feel like the glass table would be better for the lamp to sit on. But if I bring the table over here, it's going to be kind of like that's going to be way up in there. But if I stick the table over here on this corner, yeah, if I stick it over on the corner over here, then the light will reach just fine. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that and change it up, guys. I just didn't know how I wanted to do it at first. So I came in here last night really quick and just put it up and turned that upside down just so it had a top to sit on. But I wanted to go with the glass. This table's a little bit bigger than, I don't know, whatever, but it works out here. If I did put it over there, I wonder if that would look weird. What do you guys think? Gotta think about it. Because I am going to be getting like a tree, palm tree or something to put in here. And it might go over there. And since that's like the side walking in, I don't really want to put anything too big over in that corner. But like I said, it's still a work in progress. I'm still trying to kind of position where I want everything, you know, where to put things. But yeah, I like that curtain so much. I don't really like any furniture to be in front of it because then it kind of blocks the whole thing and it's kind of my mural for in here, right? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Where the hell is it? Let's go find out. Anyway, so I will be back in a little while, gazebo, to figure this whole thing out because I'm just not sure. And yes, I really wish that this furniture was aqua colored. I ended up wanting to get the they call it batten. It's not wicker, but it's this batten stuff, which is a little stronger than wicker. Furniture set on Amazon. It was the 2 chairs, the love seat, and the table set. And right when I was getting ready to purchase it, somebody on Marketplace had a set brand new in a box for $120, which was half the price of what I was going to buy. And even though it was this style with the metal, you know what? Between that and $90 for that whole umbrella patio set, I spent just over $200 and had all of the stuff I needed for outdoors, except for awnings and stuff. But this was last year. I was really excited, but no, actually 2 years ago, because this is, I think, is this our second summer with the furniture stuff? Like, or have we had it? This is the third summer. I don't know. Time goes by so fast. I can't even keep track anymore. So I don't even really know. But no, I was just in there looking at how I need to switch some stuff around in there a little bit, and I was trying to figure that out. You know what? I was looking at something a minute ago, and it was something that's really dry, a plant, and I have no idea which one it is. I got the sweet potato plant all watered up. I think we need to cut this one off. I can get probably several slips off of this, but wherever you see this little tiny prong right there, see that? Well, that right there, as long as you have that on the vine, then this will turn into a root, and will literally, you plant it and it's a sweet potato plant. It'll grow hundreds of plants, sweet potatoes out of just this. This is multiple different things growing in this pot. Kind of wild looking when you look at it this way. But yeah. So there's one bunch, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like 9 different out of 2 potatoes, you guys. 2 potatoes. Look, oops. There's only 1, 2 sweet potatoes in here. And this is what the roots, what it does when you lay it sideways in dirt. That's what they do. They grow beautiful. Look at the plant. Look at the foliage. It's gorgeous. It's heart-shaped leaves. They're beautiful. The ones inside, I have one going inside in water hydroponically. So there's soil and hydroponic growth for sweet potatoes, slips. And so this is what we're doing. And last year I cut these off and rooted them and had people come. I sold them for like $2 or $3 a piece. I'm trying to plant some still. And some of these look really healthy. So I think I'm gonna have to come out here and do some choppy. You should bring me my cutters. They're in back, aren't they? The other thing we need to do still that we haven't gotten to yet is this top right here to this box. We've realized that even with really good outdoor stain, it's not been able to hold up too much to the weather, even covered. We always cover it when it rains. So we're going to be looking for a new piece of like more of a solid piece of thicker wood to put on top of this and get it clear coated and try to do that. And then I want to build a piece across the back here with a back on it and 2 counters and then the new grill that I want to put in the middle of it. I'm going to finish basically the outdoor kitchen thing going on. So yeah, I'll have to choppy some of these and grab me and make me some more slips. I got a couple going up there, but they kind of got outside left on the table in the storm and got pretty damaged. All I know is that you just have to make sure that wherever you cut, there's one of those little pieces because something to do with that little spike is basically what makes it a slip. Interesting, huh? It is. Fucking bugs. Oh, what's the lights doing? Why are they doing that? Okay, go in there and get the remote. Here, the remote is in the tent in the gazebo. Hold on, I'll get it. Look, they're going fucking wacko. I get that. So goes to the one around the corner. Yeah. Okay. Our wraparound lights are starting to do weird things. See, they're blinking weird. We don't know why. Never had a glass bird bath. Yeah, it's like a flower. That one just looks terrible. It's getting so old. I got one in the back of this plant because when it's dark at night, this is like a path to walk around the house, and I want to be able to see. Um, okay, so everything's gonna go on now. All right, here we got one more light that just came on. So this fountain just came on, guys. So it does its own light show. And then we got this guy right here, which these are new to my yard this year, but these are the flickering. You don't have to have them flicker. So you can basically, if I can get a hold of this thing. Where's the button? Okay, the button. Of course, the button's on the back. So you can basically make it solid or click it again, off. Click it again and it does the flame, basically. If I can get it to sit straighter. All right. Anyway, crazy thing about these is they're plastic, but they have a really good solar panel on the top. So that was in. This is a new, a new addition to our garden and landscaping area this year. It was these little doodads, but I had no idea they would be plastic. I thought it'd be like glass. You know what I mean? Like the ones in the back. I think you guys have probably seen them. Well, you can see them from here, but I have to go walk into the yard now. Now you can't because they're not on. But anyway, I have crystal glass ones, and I've had them for 5 years, and they've lasted. I got them on Amazon. They're fucking strong as fuck. They've been through every winter, all season. I've never taken them in. And they're just, it's crazy how everything goes from being glass and heavy duty to plastic. Oh, there goes the big one. Now the big pool's on. So here we go, guys. Oh, this one just came on by itself. But the ducks are in the pond and they're, so there's that one. It's kind of hard to see it until let me get really close. See the water? There we go. Yeah. When you stand back at night, sometimes that thing will go up to 3 to 4 feet. It really will. It's crazy. Taller than it does during the day by far. So it really absorbs that battery, really holds on to. This particular one that I got on Amazon, it was my first one ever. It's it's for a pool. Okay. Not this kind of a pool. It was, they're meant to be in bigger pools, like you're above ground or you're in ground, and it has big ropes that go off to each side. There's like a metal piece. Of course, I've got it on the small setting. But with the water so dark like that, normally the light show is quite pretty underneath. I would say it's not that way right now, and part of the problem is the pool level is a little low, so it's floating around. One thing I might do with this thing in the future, I've thought about it a lot, is getting some like bricks and putting them around there and setting it, like just laying it there so it'll sit still. Because when they do, it's a lot easier to deal with them and they don't blow like and go crazy so that they're like splashing everywhere. But yeah, this thing's crazy. So there's that. And so we have two light up fountains and then basically two that don't have lights. And the mosquitoes just enjoyed the fact that I just got my whole arm wet and have decided to now attack me. I'm sure it's like they can't get their own water. I have to go after the people's. Damn it. These fucking band-aids. I need the flexible ones that are like when people are on the go type thing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like morning lives, having a cup of coffee and talking to everybody in the morning, like like do a little morning type live once in a while would be fun. I used to do them a lot with everybody. But yeah, get away from me. Look, as I'm putting my band-aid back on my arm, this bug's like trying to bite my finger. Holy mac. Well, we have been live for 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 54 seconds, which is about to be 4 minutes. And yeah. So I'll probably, sign off and let everybody get back to their evening and try to get back on the swing of things here so that we can get more people in the lives. I do appreciate the 2 mods that came in, and there was another person that stopped in and said hi. Appreciate that. And for all of you that are watching and aren't, chatting, thanks for stopping by and checking out the channel. I will be having lots of updates coming. Got lots of harvesting to do. Last year I kind of did the grow with me stuff, and this year not so much, but literally I'm still growing a lot of stuff. So there's still a lot of stuff to show, to watch grow. We still have carrots that are growing. Another harvest of baby lettuce that'll be coming up eventually. The watermelons, they get bigger every day, and the cucumbers. They're a lot of fun to watch grow. So It lets you kind of know if you're doing it right or wrong. Um, Doing much better this year, but it's definitely, I don't advise starting your stuff and then having to leave and go on vacation unless you've got a trained gardener to babysit your seeds while you're gone. So, all right. Well, everybody have a great night. Wild Angel signing off. I will be, because I didn't get the supplies I needed to do the waterfall feature in the front. I will be setting up a live. I know it'll be here tomorrow. I'll play it by ear and try to do it like kind of when I get it all, so I know that we have everything. But here's the area where we're going to be working on. We're going to be making a waterfall right there, and I've got a whole water feature, and then I'll be going flower shopping to buy the pieces to put in each side of here, and yeah, and so just stay tuned and join me and watch out, set your notifications, and I will be going live and setting up our next time of what we're going to be doing and DIYs and gardening updates. And I'll probably keep the gardening updates to like once a week. Um, just because that gives everything time to really like change. And DIYs, they come and go. I'll be doing a lot of those in the near future, so we'll be doing a lot of those. A lot of construction, a lot of building and customizing stuff, and things like that. But just make sure y'all just check it out. Always something interesting going on around here. Changes all the time. Like I said, my gazebo, I got to get it all decked out and get it lit up in there like the rest of the house, and I'll be doing good. The dogs are howling at me. So this is my main feature. This is in my front, well, basically our side yard, side the house. Um, and it's spectacular. Everybody loves it in the neighborhood. Little kids have come over when his kids were here, and they'd come up and check it out and want to see if the ducks were real, which they're not. They're decoy ducks, but they look very real. So I could see how a child would think they were. We're gonna walk back here real quick and do a round around the garden, and I'll show you guys why I'm going to be doing more lighting back here. So let's start on this side. Okay, so I do have lights back here. I just got to put more, right? So I've got one right there. So there's one on the end because I always mark ends of stuff. This beautiful pot back here, this barrel, it has one in there, and it lights up across the fountain and stuff. Rain barrel, which is so dark you can't see it in the dark, but there's the rain barrel. And then we've got a light here on this corner, which is inundated by grass because we need to cut. We've got our two hanging globe lights here. The guy was saying these are glass, but the ones now that I just bought this year, 6 years later, they're fucking plastic. And hey, honey, we got to fill up these pots back here. And then I've got one in here too. I've got a light that sits in the bed so I can see in here, which I know is kind of silly, but it does work. It lights it up pretty good. And then we have a light there, right here on the top. Another one of these crystal crackle lights. And then we've got the ones down here, which are just the regular white globe. But these are basically markers for the ends of. We just stapled those. We put a hole in and put them right into the pallet. I never got this finished this year, guys. This was supposed to be my herb garden. My husband never finished it for me. It just needed a few more things done to it and put the dirt in. And yeah, I think we're kind of too late, but we'll see. So that's the other part of the garden that we haven't done anything with yet. I have a perfectly good pallet right there to lay more watermelons down. So I think when we go to harvest, guys, we're going to be harvesting this bizarre fact that mini potato plants somehow got themselves into my strawberry pots. And I never got strawberries, but I got mini potatoes. So that's what we're going to be doing. Oh, yes, that's right. I need to tie up my cucumber plant right here. That is exactly what I knew. There was something that I was forgetting. And I'm like, oh, I need to. One more plant needs some help. Yep, yep. So, gotta go get a tie, guys. We can't let it drop because we gotta encourage it to go upwards. So, hold on one second. We're going to. I'm going to grab a tie. Ouch. We've got a fallen plant laying have to get a clip, guys. Something here. So we can tie that poor guy up. That sounds bad, right? I mean, I should say cucumber plant, because that sounded weird when I said that poor guy. I mean, I could be talking about anything, right? Holy shit. Careful what you say, even if you're talking about plants. Because I just caught myself and that sounded bizarre. Alright, okay. Alright, so yes, the bugs are terrible back here. I absolutely hate them. And they're already seizing me because they know I'm back here. They're already trying to get me, guys. Okay. Ouch. Alright, I got a piece of wire. I got this long, like, spool of wire. And what we're going to do with it is we're going to go tie this plant up. Right? We just added another tier to this one. Okay. So, how can I do this? I'm going to put you guys right here as I tie this plant up real quick. Because we can't let this cucumber plant be falling down like that. It's not good. Okay, let's go. Should we go this route? Now, the nice thing about cucumber plants is they have their little grabbers, the little things that grab everything. And basically, that's what keeps the plant climbing. They're like climbing. And the neatest little things. They look like little long things with curly ends. And and they they hook onto anything that the cucumber is around the plant so that they can help to basically help it climb, right? So if you weren't helping it climb, then your cucumber plant would need those to kind of basically help it out. Oh, wow. Okay, so there we go. Now what I just did, as I was on there, is I tied this up to this next level, see? Because she was drooping. And you want to keep letting it go upwards. We can get nice, healthy growth. And it looks like we have a nice cucumber coming in right there. Yeah, so this one's finally starting to produce some cucumbers. Good. That's good stuff. All right. So there we go, guys. That is it. We have accomplished something. And I've got you guys updated on my garden stuff. And these two heads of romaine that are absolutely amazingly, beautifully healthy are going to be coming out so we can enjoy them for our dinner the next couple days. So I'm going to go fill Olapots and water everything. And that's a nightly thing. But stay tuned. And like I said, we'll be coming back regularly. I swear to God, every time I look at this watermelon, you guys, it's gotten bigger. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Look at the melon. It's our biggest one so far. And I think I I planted the organic baby bash ones, and so they're not more than like a 5 to 6 pound watermelon. But boy, that's a lot of weight. So I'm definitely gonna have to get the hammocks for those so that the vines don't break. All right, guys. Well, I'm getting ready to go and get me some mosquito repellent because I'm getting eaten alive. So I love y'all. Thanks for stopping in. It's getting dark. It's time to go get the bug armor on. So I will be back soon. I would be looking for me to post something for tomorrow, especially if I get that Amazon order late tonight. And like I said, I'll try to determine whether or not to do vertical. I kind of wanted to know what you thought, Mary Jane Doe, about doing vertical. Because it seems like it gets an algorithm better. And I think more people, like I catch more vertical lives than I catch people's lives that are like posted on StreamYard, you know what I mean? Unless they've been, And I'm trying to figure out how Leanie goes on and does it on, how do you stream on StreamYard and the vertical at the same time? Maybe you could message me in Messenger and let me know, because I'm trying to remember how she did that. Anyway, meanwhile, love y'all. Take care. I will see you in the next 24 hours. Watch out for a either pop-up stream or a planned one through StreamYard. All right, Wild Angel signing off. Bye, everybody. Okay, so I guess you guys, I thought that I had ended my live, and one of my friends let me know that it's still going. So when I pushed end, it didn't evidently do that. So I'm coming to say good night again. Hey, it's been a minute. What are you doing, Gizmo? What are you doing? It's dark as heck out here. You can't see a thing. Can't see a doggone thing, guys. I can see that. I'm talking to the dog. I was asking my dog, but he's in the dark and you can't even see him. So yeah, guys, so that was interesting, right? You know, you just gotta love it when buttons don't work, right? But we got the lights to work, the strip lights, see? They're let's go closer. All around the stairs. We had to get a new solar panel because suddenly the solar panel to it just stopped charging. And one day we're just noticing, I was like sitting out here going, wait a minute, something's missing in the yard. And that's what it was. It was those lights not being on because they wrap all the way around the whole house. Let's see if I can show you. See, there's the whole pattern. They're strung around the front here all the way around. They're not very bright, you guys. They're very tiny. And I was really kind of like, I think originally what I had in mind was, see, they go all the way back to there. Something a little bit bigger and brighter. You know, like you can see them, but they're not like, I don't know. They're not very bright. I mean, I have to get close to them to see them, say. But when you're looking at them from afar, they look good. I mean, they're just not big lights. I guess that's what. Bigger ones would be brighter and more like prevalent, I guess. So, all right. Well, for all of you that were still watching when nothing was going on at all, I appreciate you sticking around. There is a button that I found on overlay today that says be right back. And I never used to know what to put on, or like I need to set up some like music and stuff to play, like if person's like gotta go excuse themselves or leave the room or something. And so I found that, but I need to get back into StreamYard and figure out all the little bells and whistles and try to get things set up cool again. Mary Jane, if you do get a chance, though, message me and let me know how Leanie does the two lives at once. All right, y'all take care. Let me do something real quick with this crazy thing. How do you turn it around? Oh, there it is. Camera. There. All right, bye everybody. See y'all soon. I was trying to say hello in person and goodbye, but all right. See you guys soon. Bye.